has 2, 1 goal to Osman and Gilbert for the Kangaroos.
Now, Bryce.
Yes.
Bailey's on his way home. We thank him for his efforts going down to work. But at 3/4 time today, there was supposed to be a special announcement of a Pakenham Life membership. Can you let us know when we can announce that?
Yes.
Fry in the ruck. Tapped it down to Wheeler. Socketed the ball out of the pack now. The crowd has really left us in front of us. It's fantastic. They got the warning. And strong tackle applied there by Jaburin. Just flexing his muscles there. Bringing Spearings to the ground. So Fry against Chapman. Chapman too tall. Taps it down to La Rosa. His hand pass misses its intended target. Pack forms as Hayden Spearings couldn't get the ball out. And we're going to see it thrown up on the half-back flank for Pakenham. Chapman taps it down, but Walker was front and square. Couldn't get his hand pass away effectively. Hayden Spearings goes in and gets tackled. Going through Brewster. He should have just left the ball behind. Soccering out of that pack, though, was Lehman. He's tapped there nicely by Alberni back to Lehman, who took it out of mid-air. But Inglesio intercepts, gets a hand pass to Ryan Spearings. Now Brewster receives the hand pass back to Inglesio, showing some leg speed, which was good to see. His kick, though, has too much hang time, allows Holmes in to punch the ball away. The French croissant, Toussaint does well. Hand passes it back to Blackwood. Silky Skills gets away from Clark. Get the hand pass away under immense pressure. The 1-2, Toussaint and Young. Toussaint gives it, don't argue. Mongrel kick forward, hard for the forwards. Bouncing football. Jones back on the ground. On one leg, doing well, the big fella. Barclay slips over at the wrong time. Walker leaves the football behind, trying to go through and get it out there. Was that Adams? I don't know what Walker was doing then. It seems like he lost track of where the football was. And Adams couldn't get away after Walker applied a strong tackle. So inside forward 50. Doing the ruck work there was Fry. Tapped it down to Lehman. Shrugs the tackle. Goes to Bruin. Inside hand pass. Alberni in space. The kick around the body. Goes right across the face and out of bounds on the full. So no change to the score. We have gone.
Jones is still hobbling out there. So
he is.
Yeah,
maybe he just needs to plant himself in the goal square. So the margin still is 35 points at the start of this last term. 2 minutes gone thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
So the Kangaroos now, they bring it up towards the defensive 50. Allen took the mark. And now they work it up towards centre wing. But flying for the intercept mark there was Cadona, who kicks it to half forward. Taking the mark there was Walker, who gets corralled and then handballs over the top. Fry comes in and collects it, gets a handball away. And now they're out on the outer side. Options lead into the pocket now, and Fry takes the mark uncontested, 48 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And there's no way your main man, Jared, is going to pass this one off.
Pass when you can kick 60.
It's a shame that Bailey's gone because there's a Pakenham player getting a lot of attention there on his lower back, buttock area.
So Fry,
you're right, there is.
For his second of the afternoon, his team leading by 35 points, comes in and it's not the best.
Just a quick short pass, just a quick short pass. He made like he was going to kick it, then Walker's giving him a quick lead up and he's hit Walker.
I'm surprised
not happy with that.
I thought you were going to say Trent enjoys some attention to his buttock area, but you let that one go, Jared.
Come on, we're going to try bring this baby home.
Thank God for that. So Walker.
Russell from Pearstown, that's for his entertainment.
Roger.
From 38
Roger.
metres out, comes in. And it looks good, and it's brilliant. Walker gets his first of the afternoon. Pakenham get their 12. 12-6, 78. Lead the Kangaroos 5-7, 37. 3.5 gone in this final quarter. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne, your local club for all your social and entertainment needs. Check them out online at triosportsclub.com.au.
5 goals straight for Pakenham now in this second half.
And you can tell Fry's been watching a bit of AFL. He's gone back on the shot clock, turned his back on the play, gone back, stepped for a shot, and then he waited a lot of time, then just a chip pass into Walker.
Taking a few deep breaths in because he's doing most of the ruck work now. The Chapman, big slap forward to Canty. Quick hand pass there to Hayden Spearings. Oh, this must be slippery because players are falling over left, right and centre as Hayden Spearings' ball bounces to La Rosa. He kicks it forward. Redley tries to use his body but leaves the football behind. Pakenham have the numbers if they can work it out. The hand pass comes out towards Bo Wheeler. Traps it, kicks it nicely there to Bruin. Ball bounces. He struggled with his bounces this afternoon to Bruin. That's a nice pass. The on of the lead.
He wants it back.
Murray goes back to the Bruin. Decides not to go past Inglis. So his hand pass made it hard for Murray. He gets ridden into the back. No free kick was paid. Inglisso goes in. He copped one high. Did he just throw a little short one there? No. Sean's happy with that. Right in front of the Pakenham coach's box. So throws up. Chapman, late into the rucking contest, Fry gets a push, goes through the cannonball. He leaves a trail behind him. And close to the boundary line there, as called by the coach, was Gilbert. And he got driven into the ground strongly there by Holmes. Hasn't as much of it in the second half as Holmes, but he's still had an effect on the game. As tapped down by Chapman goes towards Hayden Spearings, and he got pushed into the fence by Young, saying, "How do you like that one, son?" And the ball's going to be thrown up or in? No, it's going to be thrown in. Young Nick Merrick doing a fine job on the boundary this afternoon. Cheerio to Stuart Merrick, who's listening in his car. Throw in. Chapman taps it down. LaRosa went in without the football. The back of the pack, Hannigan goes to the human cannonball now. LaRosa kicks it to the hot spot. They compete. Clark flies in from the side but couldn't mark. The ball tapped there to Tivendale. Tivendale to Clark. Spins around, gets the hand pass to Hayden Spearings. He needs to have a shot on goal and finish if he can. Yes he can.
Steve
Reward.
Kernahan wobbler.
It was. Yeah, reward to a tough day at the office for young Spearing. That's officer's first goal of this final term. They go to 6-7-43. Trailing Pakenham 12-6-78 at the 6-minute mark of this final term, thanks to Trio Sports Club in Pakenham in Cranberry.
And Bryce isn't there to... Yes, he is. There's no growl from Bryce. It must just be my mistakes. Anyway, 6 minutes gone into the final quarter. Officer needed that goal just to put a bit of respect back on the scoreboard. They'd gone 15 minutes without scoring a goal unanswered.
Falcon.
As the ball goes up and players in an attempt to grab it, someone's been knocked in the scone. As the Lions now press forward, De Bruin got a handball out to Blake, who got a kick up towards half forward.
It was Lehman, a clearing kick by, I think it was Spearings, out of the centres. Fair and square, hit him right in the nose.
Alberni hits up Holmes from 65 metres out, goes to the hot spot. Jones, I couldn't quite bring down the mark. That was brilliant work there by Hannigan. Sorry, no, it's Adams deep inside defensive 50. Gets a handball over the top. Now up towards half forward of the Kangas.
He's kicked the power out.
We're back.
We're off air. We're just just
We apologise, listeners. Bryce has kicked the power cord out of the...
Just shut up, Trev.
Make sure you mention it as soon as we go back.
Fucking moron.
Oh, jeez, I hope we're on
I hope that went to air.
We're on the camera.
Okay, we're on air in 3, 2.
We apologise,
What happened to one?
listeners. Jones has come in and kicked a goal. KP's lost it. Bryce has
Never had it.
Bryce has probably just cost us all our careers as we went off
Make sure you
air for a moment.
write that time down to cut it off. Bryce's profanities.
We went off air shortly.
You've said some horrible things on air now, Bryce.
He has, hasn't he?
The Red Onion Man's nearly fallen off his perch.
We went off air shortly, listeners. Bryce kicked the power cord out of the socket, but Jones got a goal nonetheless for
Chapman
the
went
Lions.
high.
Very high and came down just as hard.
As Barkley gets a clearing hack kick forward. Bryce is going to go over and have to say sorry to the Red Onion bloke. Please edit that piece out, otherwise I'll be sacked. As the Kangas have got all the numbers inside defensive 50. Johnston gets a handball over the top two. Alberni, who gets a hacked handball forward. The Kangas have got all the numbers now, and they'll clear defensive 50. Longmuir with a long kick up towards the human cannonball, LaRosa. He takes the mark in a paddock, turns and goes. He kicks it up to a 2-on-1 contest. Falling over at the crucial moment was Clark.
Weak by Clark.
It was. Yeah.
And the Lions now through Blackwood. Across half back on the outer side. Hits up to Bruin. We know what pace he's got, but he's been corralled quite nicely this afternoon. Goes to Fry,
You're showing his pace.
who turns and goes, and that's an 85-metre bomb up to 25 metres out. Unable to complete the mark was Jones, but he does well to crash 3 packs. He couldn't quite get on his boot, and the umpires pinned him for holding the ball.
And that's just a short pass from the fine hand.
And the Kangas
85 metres.
will bring it away.
The super boot. The big D-Max, D Fry. We were off air, and I'm still bamboozled by the language coming out of the Vice President's mouth as Brewster has it on the Half-back flank trying to find Hayden Springs, but cutting it off was Barclay. He's got options ever. He decides to go long. Jones on one leg. Was a touch. The ball's going to bounce through. Oh, the big man's done well. The goal on the line. He socketed it. He's
high fiving everyone.
He's celebrating with the under-19, putting the big fists in the air. He's been on one leg for the second half, but really had to stride out there to get connection to it by his foot. He's kicked his second goal.
He was still
Pakenham's 13th.
Sorry, mate. He was still trying to push his opponent under the ball and everything. That's how he hurt himself in the first place, by trying to... he's got about a foot on his opposition, yet he's trying to manhandle him out of the way.
So Jones kicks their 14th goal. They go to 14-6-90. Leading officer 6-7-43. And yeah, we'll have to work that out later, Trent. I've buggered up my scores in front of me, but the margin's right. It's out to 47 points. The clearance, though, they've been dominating that since Jones's injury. That was La Rosa getting another disposal out towards Longmuir, who marks on the half-forward flank. He's gone off his mark. He's been called to play on. He saw players breaking for him, and that was a nice pass. Looks like it was is that Tivendale with the mark. And Tivendale's going to line up for a shot on goal from 40 metres out. It's a slight of straight in front and can go back and kick the goal.
Bryce has refused to go on air.
No, I'm here. It's all under control.
Tivendale's gone
Pass,
short,
Yep.
loose defence, and Osman, the beneficiary, he just popped himself 25 metres out directly in front.
See if he can get the distance.
Well, he
on this
looks
one.
more confident, doesn't he,
Yeah.
going back? He's not looking to try and pass it, but that was, I guess at this stage of the game, 11 minutes into this final term, you can do that, but when you're leading by close to 9 goals.
Just quickly, KP.
We'll go to that in just a second,
Oh,
Trent. I
okay.
have seen the message. Osman comes in now from 25 metres out, leans back. He's pushed it across the face and through for one behind. Disappointing result there, but sums up their afternoon. Officer, another chance to put pressure on the teams above them in the finals, and they've let themselves down. As Walker kicks it in quickly, goes to Fry's sitting.
Oh.
Darkus Smelich goes in and really drives a knee into the back of Fry. Did well to take the mark. We'll get that life members announcement shortly as Fry got the hand pass there to Walker. On centre wing, Morey competes, couldn't take the mark, getting
That's
harassed there
dragged
by O'Loughlin. No free kick was paid. Going through and applying a strong tackle there was King from the Lions, and the ball's going to be thrown up on centre wing. Trent.
Daryl Hardy, in recognition of his 50 years of service to the Pakenham Football Club, has been inducted as a life member to the Pakenham Senior Football Club.
Only 50 years.
So a massive congratulations. And also coming through, Tim Breck is on report for striking Jake Mule in Berwick, 72, leading to it in 37.
How many life memberships have you earned in your time, Jared?
17. Your mate is just paid a free kick. That free kick was against Pakenham Football Club for a player getting in the umpire's way, even though he was on the station. The umpire ran into him.
So the
Your
Lions,
Well, lucky I didn't see it.
But at
Deep
least he didn't pay a
inside-
50 as well.
Wow.
deep
An
inside
80.
defensive
An
50.
82.
They've
Well,
put
if Fry kicked at 85, it was a 105-metre penalty before.
Blackwood has it
Tonks.
in the middle of the ground.
Tonks.
Sorry, Tonks had it. Lehman now goes with a short, dinky kick to the outside.
Thies.
Thies collects it and kicks it up towards centre wing. De Bruin takes the great mark and kicks it in towards half forward, where he tries to find his teammate. He did well to work his way
What
through that
the-
pack, Morey, but he was pinned for holding the ball after he got a handball away.
He was spun
And-
around in the tackle, that's why.
The Kangaroos now will kick it up towards half forward. almost 14 minutes gone of this final term. The nostalgia's gone out of this game. 46 points the margin as the Kangas now press towards their own forward 50, kicked into the pocket, diving in for the mark. There was King. It was Longmuir. He couldn't complete the mark as the ball
how do
rolls
you
towards the
commentate that?
boundary line.
Right by Thies. Just
Yeah,
diving,
vroom.
diving on top of it, trapping it with both hands.
He's playing the piano or something. I think it vroom.
And the umpire calls for a bounce 25 metres out from Officer's goal.
So
Oh,
tap
well,
down,
shark.
walk up. He's been probably one of Pakenham's best, if not their best player this afternoon. Squares the pass, bouncing it for Lehman. The French croissant Toussaint in space. Cool customer, picks out his captain Blake. Running past Barclay, that's ignored, so Blake has to go long. First game of there goes with the one hand. It was Johnson. Couldn't complete it, but his second effort was good. Oh, the umpire's paid it as too
Yeah,
high.
he's dragged him down the neck.
He slid in there against Adams.
It was actually Johnson getting his back rubbed before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
First game up. Getting pretty sore, I'd imagine, tomorrow. First time playing senior football. The kick coming forward there with the Kangaroos was cut off by Blake, who goes back to Lehman. He goes even further back now to Cardona. Plays on. Goes right across the ground. He's got De Bruin. He's got Blackwood running past. He receives the hand pass now. Doesn't go back to Blackwood. Just pops it up there for Morey. He's been looking good at centre half forward today, Morey, but his hand pass, I don't think De Bruin was ready for it. Ryan Spearings gets the hand pass out of the cannonball. His kick doesn't travel too far at all. Was intercepted there by Barclay. One way, then the other. Long kick inside forward. 50 to Nita. Mark Jones. He's done well on one leg. The big man, he's pulled it in and he's taken the mark on his chest. You'll line up for a shot on goal. To what, 25 metres out directly in front.
And that was better, actually, because he attacked the ball. He didn't worry about his opponent, where he was.
This will take him a while to get back to his mark, though.
The shot clock will be on this one.
And then he's going to have to walk back in and have the shot on goal. So this might just take up the rest of the game. We're at the 15-minute mark of the final term. Kimbo Jones for the Lions, looking for goal number 3. He's directly in front, and he has kicked it through nicely.
I'm trying to celebrate.
So Jones has 3. He's the leading goal kicker this afternoon as they've kicked their 15 goal. Jones kicks back-to-back goals there for the Lions. It's 15-6-96 to the Kangaroos, 6-8-44 at the 16-minute mark of this final term.
Officer Bevan.
Yep.
Checking on proceedings, seeing if Rice is all right.
He should be providing some security for us, I think.
Well,
where's his Harley? We'll raffle that off on KC Radio.
16 and a half minutes gone now in this final quarter. And we must thank the Pakenham Football Club, who always provide us the best commentary position possible at such short notice. As the ball was thrown up, tapped down, players dive over the top of it, and the umpire calls for a bounce.
Finally tipped the winner today. Crikey.
Thrown up. KP's a punter, if you didn't know.
Yeah, 1-800-858-858.
It's the Gamblers Hotline if you need it, listeners. As the ball now comes towards half forward for the Lions, and now they press backwards to come forward again. The long kick inside forward 50 comes from Wheeler. And standing and taking a great mark is De Bruin. It was actually Morey, but he was pinned for a in the back free kick. And the Kangas now come broadcast side of the ground.
Slippery.
Half back.
Yeah.
Calling for the football is Hannigan. That's ignored.
Maybe the grass was cut too short.
Could have been, yeah.
So the short kick towards the boundary line, that was barely 9 metres, but the mark's been paid nonetheless. He goes backwards now.
No wonder the truck got bogged earlier this morning.
LaRose up.
Wasn't Bryce's fault.
That's what I've been saying all day.
Kicks it up towards half-back. Longmuir.
Not at all.
Kicks it into Hannigan now. He had LaRosa in support.
Doing a good job, Tank.
Wheeler.
The Cannonball's been probably Officer's best player today, you'd say, or especially in the second half.
Yeah, he's been asked to stay in the middle this quarter, and
coming off.
You've given him a rap.
Yep.
Brewster has it now, kicks it close to the interchange gates. Oh, that was a great mark there by Adams.
I know we've said this hasn't been the most entertaining game, but players have really put their bodies on the line at times, I think, this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, they've been
a hard
wear hits, haven't they?
So they've come here looking for 3 wins. Officer, they're going to go home with none.
Adams went back to Brewster, who tried to hit up Woodfield, but it ends up in Cadona's hands, who goes into the middle of the ground and now inside forward 50 from the foot of Williams, who hits up Barkley.
He can make the distance here.
47 metres out, almost directly in front, and just like Fry, there's no way he'll pass this one off.
Little man, big kick.
He'll go back.
Jones is limping his way to the coast.
Just in case. He's looking for a bag.
So Barkley, for his second of the afternoon and Pakenham's 16th for the game. Accurate kicking has been a highlight of Pakenham's scoring game today as he makes his approach from 48 metres out. It looks good off the boot. It won't quite carry. Gets it well. He's happy. The goal umpire's happy as well. He gets his second.
Jones
Pakenham get their 16th. 16-6, 102. Leading officer 6-8-44. 19 minutes gone into this final term. Thanks to Tree Sports Club in Cranbourne. With the new sports bar, there's no better place to enjoy cold beer.
Coach Stanton's happy with this. He's retired into the coach's box now. He's sitting down.
I won't say what he's doing. Steve O'Brien.
He's thinking about pulling Jones off, I think. Yeah, the runner's gone out there. And
Let's just leave that
he
one.
went
there.
down on his horse's chair. He's been told to get off. He's pulling him off.
I'm not going anywhere near those comments, Jared. You're going to get me in a lot of trouble.
Telling you what the runner's doing.
Fry taps it down and gets the hand pass back. Shoots it out to Walker. Breaks one tackle.
Who has been the best on the ground today, I think. I'll agree with you with that.
Kicks it up to centre half forward. It goes straight through Maury's hands, but his second effort was good. It's been their endeavour around the football that's been the standout for Pakenham today. Going in there was Smelich. Ground ball out there towards Moore. Gets the hand pass now. Chain of hand passes working out nicely for the Kangas. They can hand pass it. Just can't kick it in this final term. A sitting duck there was Woodfield.
You've got to pay that.
And getting cleaned up by Cardona, but no free kick was paid that time, Jared.
I know. You just got to pay that. He's trying to get
Fry
the ball.
sees Walker. Walker gets to 50. The distance won't test him. That's a beautiful finishing
goal.
work there by an experienced campaigner. Premiership player at Pakenham. It's going to be a big celebration tonight. He did. That just topped off what's been a fantastic afternoon. Their 17th goal of the day. They got a 17-6-108, leading officer 6-8-44.
See? Told you, he pulled him off.
He's been replaced. He's been interchanged, Jared.
He won't be back today.
I haven't said a word. 21 minutes gone into this final quarter, and Pakenham had this one locked up at three-quarter time. They have kicked now 7 goals in this final term to 1.
They've kicked 9 goals straight since for the second half. It's been an amazing performance.
Chapman got the tap down. The Kangaroos tried pressing forward, but Pakenham's pressure around the football has been outstanding all day. Pack forms on top of it, and we'll see a second bounce.
Sean Stanton, their coach, made the reference earlier that never say never.
That's right.
Could this be just what the Pakenham Football Club needed to breathe some life into their season? They've been waiting for it all year.
As the ball finds its way into the hands of Hannigan, goes inside forward 50, and cutting it off there was Blackwood.
And that's typical of Matty Clark. When things aren't going his way, he plays from behind. He doesn't...
Drops his head, blames everybody else.
He can't find a way to get himself into the play.
No, doesn't go back very often, does he?
Nah.
Blackwood finds Young, who tried to hit up
Well
Williams
done,
in
Fry.
the middle of the ground, and Fry crashes the pack. And I think there's been a too high free kick paid downfield from the umpire at the opposite end of the ground.
I'm surprised. I'm not going to say that.
No.
So the free kick will now be taken inside.
Give it to the fireman.
50.
Hang on, which way is it
It's going
gone?
to be given to the Kangaroos, I think.
No, it's going to be Pakenham now.
No, it's...
Oh, so Lehman had it.
Lehman's going to give it back. He doesn't know what's going on either. Who's it gone to now?
The ball's been in the hands of 4 different players, and now it's Morey who's got it.
So Morey, after a downfield decision paid by the umpire at the opposite end of the ground, he's going to have a shot on goal 25 metres out on a 15-degree angle at the 22.5-minute mark of this final term. He comes in and he's just snaked it home. Pakenham get their 18th. Morey gets his second. 18-6, 114. Lead officer 6-8-44. 23 minutes gone in this final
I still don't
term.
understand when that free kick was paid and
Sports Club in Cranbourne.
whether it's relevant to the game or...
No, but they're all having a chat to Thompson from officer. They're just giving him a bit of lip.
Well, by the time we reacted to it, it was actually Williams who looked like he was in the wrong.
Yeah. So, anyway. But what you were saying before, I was just thinking that the function tonight, all the bar talk will be, why didn't we show this earlier, this type of football? It could be a chance for finals. But it's easy to do now once the season's shot.
Especially against an opposition who's shown nothing in their second half.
Who had their season on the line, really, didn't they?
Woodfield does well. It's actually Smelich. He's hurried kick forward and sliding and taking the mark there was Cardona.
He's another human cannonball, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Loves
played
it.
well. The physicality, he thrives on it. Walker just pushes Sivendale to the ground too easily, then gets his kick away as they build towards the outer side, inside forward 50 into Bruin. Takes the mark on his chest in front of Suthak. Now De Bruin's calling players to go to the hot spot. Barclay leads, going to kick it on his head. Walker's there, flies in, but the big man at front, was that Chapman? It was. No, it's Redley.
Redley, yeah.
Yep, it was. Yep, that's what you need to see from the big man getting behind the play like that as the Kangaroos build towards the broadcast side of the ground. Taking the mark there is Ryan Spearings. I'll guess it from there. Spearings been called to play on. Goes short where Brewster takes the mark. So inside defensive 50. They haven't shown the right intent this afternoon, the Kangaroos. That's a nice pass though. Finds that man in Hannigan, who plays on. Bouncing football. There's some tired legs out there now. Gilbert's been quiet in this second half, and his hand pass has been cut off. Good work there by King. Spots up Fry. He's just been planted in that centre square, and goes to Candy. Daniel Fry goes long. Inside forward 50. Walker flies high and taking a brilliant mark. That's brought the home crowd to their feet. It really just favoured him there as he floated in from the side.
Oh, it was the elusiveness of the fly man.
Wasn't it?
Oh, beautiful.
Fry to Walker. I think both players played in Pakenham's last premiership. If I could be corrected there, I apologise. Stewart waving. I thought he was telling me I was wrong. As Walker comes in now.
Who dare tell you were wrong?
A few people have today. From 40 metres out, Walker, that's a beautiful pass. That's gone straight through. It's another goal to Pakenham. The run continues now. And they go to 18 goals, 6, 114. They have now kicked, 11 goals straight. Sorry, 19-6. Wow, so that's actually 12 goals straight now. 120 they go to. I'm not even worried about the scoreboard at the moment. Bryce.
Thanks, Kane. A couple of things coming off Twitter. Steve O'Brien listening in saying, great call, keep up the good work, guys. A very happy man he would be over the other side of the world. And also Nari Warren tweeting in 18 minutes into the last quarter. Nari leading by 7 goals with only 17 men on the field. Gutsiest performance by their side. And also someone illiterate texting in, but giving crap to the broadcast. When you can text him properly, send us another text.
Yep,
Okay.
fat fingers maybe. Struggling out there, too many brewskis. I wonder why Nari only have 17 fit men. Has there been someone sent off? We'll get some clarification from the Magpies shortly. The ball goes inside forward 50 with Morey. Swings around, kicks it high. That should have been a free kick. Getting dragged to the ground there was Johnson, but no free kick was paid.
Oh, good vision.
It was.
Great vision.
Yeah, Walker came out of that pack with the football and finds Holmes.
Have a shot.
There's a couple of players loose inside forward 50. They've been ignored. So Holmes will line up for a shot on goal.
Torpedo.
He's running past, received the hand pass was Fry from 50 metres out. It's gone right across the face. Small man flies in Barkley. They have the numbers there. The Kangaroos. Glisso got tackled as he's kicked it. They compete in the goal square. Can they work it out here? The Kangaroos, no, they can't. Heaps of forward pressure by the Lions. They've nearly turned it over. Canty. His hand pass was just tapped out of his hands. Williams goes in, taps it back into some space. They were going in from everywhere. Now the ball's going to be bolted up 15 metres out from Pakenham's goal, and we're going to see the ball thrown up.
And that's the first bit of forward pressure I've seen all game.
76 points the margin.
Got nothing for us.
27th minute mark of the final term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. The Kangaroos now kick to the outer side. A foot race out to see if Tonks can beat the Boundulone. He does. Gets the kick away now, back inside. Finds his captain in Blake, who just slows the game down. 27 and a half gone in this final quarter. He goes close to the boundary line, back to Tonks. No, sorry, it's Cardona that's taken the mark.
They've all come down, haven't they? There's no one behind this side of the centre square.
Cardona calls for the short lead and he finds Williams. And Williams has taken the mark. 47, just on 50 metres out from his own goal, close to the boundary line. So he just goes with a low spearing pass.
Good mark.
The drop mark there by, I think it was Morey, who couldn't quite bring down the mark, but the Kangaroos will bring it out now. Taking the mark is Spearings.
A quick cheerio to our good friend Dave from Berwick, providing some updated scores there from Berwick and Tooradin. Appreciate the updates. Someone who knows how to use a phone correctly.
Spearings with a short chip kick now. The Kangaroos just look like they're trying to hold up the clock, but that kick not paid 15. Swung around twice, but no free kick was paid because he just got his handball away. Now will the Kangaroos be able to build something here? Back in the hands of Spearings, who goes to Chapman at true centre half back.
Young Redley's shown a bit in this quarter for Officer, so they'll be wrapped with that.
So Chapman comes broadcast side of the ground. At the front of the pack, but couldn't complete it, was Thompson. And wrapped up in a strong tackle is Gilbert, and the umpire calls for a bounce. 29-minute mark of the final term.
I've just been called weak as for not saying my opinion before.
And there's the final siren. Pakenham have run out this game 76-point winners. And a fantastic effort for this last quarter. I've been told to go down to ground level.
Yep. Try and grab Sean Stanton if you can.
So can you put some sense into those messages we're getting off our pleb line?
I was just mentioning it that someone wasn't quite happy with me holding back rather than saying some inappropriate comments before, so that's okay. I appreciate that.
So you know who
feedback.
that is.
I know what was said. I don't know who the person texting is, Bryce, but
What's the point saying those for their entertainment?
I would have got myself in a lot of trouble because it is going to video, so it was about towards an umpire.
Speaking of the video, I got to deal with something.
You do. Yes. Apologies for going off air during that quarter, and